Good morning from the campus of Chiang Mai University. In this video, I want to talk about the origins of my 9 pillars of well-being. I'll start with a short family story. In 2019, my big brother Pat died after 40 years of drugs and alcohol. He was 61. We came from a family of 4 boys, my big brother Pat, Peter, Perry, and Paul. Pat's death had a huge impact on me. He had suffered for decades. At the same time, my dad lived a good, healthy, active life all the way to 90 years old. He was a tough dude, still going to the gym 5 days a week until the very end. And I've asked myself many times, why did Pat suffer and Dad thrive? Why the difference? As I've said before, I know a lot of men who suffer. They're alcoholics, addicts, financially broke, sick, obese, diabetic, unhappy, depressed, lonely, disintegrating marriages, etc. Meanwhile, I see other men flourishing, happy, enthusiastic, energetic, fit, healthy. And again, I ask myself, why the difference? I went through my own shit show of problems, divorce, business, relationships, loneliness, but I refused to let that define me or take me down. After several bad experiences with therapists, I came to believe so much of therapy is a complete waste of time. At the end of the day, we have to do the work ourselves. I remember during the quiet days of COVID in 2020, sitting in my apartment in Boston, pondering the concept of well-being. I researched and read a lot of books on the topic. I needed my own framework for well-being. Maybe that's the nerdy accountant in me. I love frameworks. Over the next 2 years, I concluded there are 9 factors to navigate for well-being. I called them the 9 pillars of well-being. They became my own self-help structure, a place to do my inner work. I believe we can harness suffering to fuel creativity. After over 25 years in the investment business, helping wealthy people get wealthier, I was ready for something new, something creative. And now I see my 9 pillars as relevant to any man, anywhere. Speaking of creativity, I have a special book with me here in Thailand. It was my mom's book. After she died in Phoenix, Arizona, the book traveled with me to Miami Beach and then to Thailand. The title of the book is The Artist's Way, and the subtitle, A Spiritual Path to Higher Creativity. It was written by Julia Cameron in 1992. You can still see my mom's blue tab here. I didn't take it out. And the book is underlined with her underlines throughout. I treasure this book. I know most people don't read books anymore, but in case you forgot, this is a typical book. It's got a table of contents, pages that you can read and flip through, and there's an index in the back. This book is less of an art book and more of a spiritual path to creativity. When I open this book, I feel like I'm reconnecting with an old friend. The list of accomplishments of the author is amazing. The link to the book is below. Now, as a 66-year-old novice content creator, I've become an artist. I believe all of us are artists, whether we realize it or not. We can tap into our creative energy at any age. Many guys my age have a lot of free time on their hands. Their children have grown, their careers have plateaued or ended altogether. It's a perfect time for creative expression. Earlier this year at the gym, a guy I know approached me, clearly angry about what he was seeing on his phone. He wanted to talk to me about US politics. I told him to go away. I don't want to talk about politics. The gym is a sacred place for me. He's typical of many guys I see in the gym these days. You know who they are, spending most of their time looking at their phones and not working out. So many guys I know are fixated on the news. Wars, politics, immigration, climate change, the list goes on. They are massive consumers of their phone screens and TV and news and social media, and they're stressed out, worried about things they have absolutely no control over. I also know a lot of guys who have great ideas, great plans to do something new, but they don't know where to begin. So they pick up their phones and begin to scroll, passively consuming rather than creating or executing on their plans. The phone is such a great hiding place to hide from ourselves. It helps us avoid our ideas and to procrastinate on our plans. And all of us are guilty of this. We need to remember, the phone is full of shit. Don't forget that. In conclusion, everyone suffers in some ways. And I think those who suffer the most try the hardest to hide it or bury it. I have work to do to make my 9 pillars more accessible, but for now you can access my simple self-audit tools at the bottom of my 9 pillars newsletter. They might help with taking inventory of your deficient pillars. Next, I want to briefly talk about my logo. Here's my logo. I had it created for a reason. It depicts a strong, centered man. Within him are 9 stones, each one representing the 9 pillars of well-being. The large stones represent the hard work he's done on that pillar. The small stones reveal his deficient pillars. This man knows the work he needs to do. I still ask myself, why did Pat die while Dad thrived? And why do some guys suffer while other guys flourish? I think it boils down to the extent they are engaged with something that is meaningful to them. My goal is to create tools for well-being and to share positive and inspiring stories about aging. Finally, here are some suggestions I want to offer my closest friends. Put away your fucking phone. It's not helping you. Do what is important. Exercise without your phone. Eat a meal without your phone. Go on a long walk without your phone. Sit alone like a man at peace and think or read or listen to music. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I'm Peter Pavlina with The Wellbeing Man, and I hope to see you in my next video.